Welcome to the 2025 school year. This is our school safety presentation. It is important that you watch this entire presentation and then complete the Google form documenting that you have watched and agree to the safety agreements for the school year. School safety is everyone's responsibility and it must be the number one priority in Florida's schools. Please be sure to complete all of the compliance trainings in e-learning. Also, please be sure to choose your multi-factor authentication option. This is a district requirement to improve security in our IT department. On the next few slides, we will review Florida state rules concerning behaviors and threats, an overview of the threat management process, the role that teachers and staff play in the process, and why you make a difference. Social media and students. Children under 13 may not use any social media. Children 14 and 15 must have parental permission. Schools should tailor social media posts to be targeted towards students and parents in the community, not directly at students. For example, it is acceptable to say, "Listen up, we're having an essay contest open to all students. Students can register with Mrs. Smith." It is unacceptable to say, "Hey students, we're having an essay contest. Talk with Mrs. Smith to register." This is a Florida statute. School district employees should not use social media apps to communicate with students or their families. Do not use any of the listed social media apps to directly communicate with students or families. Concerning behaviors and threats for teachers and staff. This is our threat management team with photos. Ms. Bailey is the chair and assistant principal. Ms. Petway is the guidance counselor and vice chair. Dr. Khan is our choice coordinator and expert of instruction. And Officer Negron is our school police officer. You may report any threats, verbal or written, to any of these four adults. Understanding the difference between a threat and a concerning behavior is an important factor in determining when to make a report. Both are reasons to make a report. However, it is not uncommon for a concerning behavior to be overlooked. A threat is a communication or behavior indicating that an individual poses a danger to the safety of school staff or students through acts of violence or behavior that would cause harm to themselves or others, or both. Concerning behaviors are observable behaviors that elicit concern in others regarding the safety of an individual or those around them. Both should be reported to one of the threat management team members. Example of concerning behaviors. If you notice students show any of these concerning behaviors, please report it to one of the threat management team. Unusual social distancing or isolation of subjects from peers and family members. A sullen or depressed behavior from an otherwise friendly or positive person. An out-of-context outburst of verbal or physical aggression. Increased levels of agitation, frustration, and anger. Confrontational, accusatory, or blaming behavior, including bullying and sexual harassment. Expressing thoughts of harming theirself or others. An unusual interest in or fascination with weapons, extremist groups, previous mass violence attacks or attackers. A fixation on violence as a means of addressing a grievance. Aggression towards animals, or disturbing drawings or writings. The threat management process is as follows. A threat or concerning behavior is reported to the chair or any other threat management team member. The chair speaks with the child and potential targets and witnesses. The chair then decides if the matter can be closed or if a full investigation needs to occur. If closed, services can still be provided to the child. The investigation will then include interviews, records review, and experts in their fields weighing in. The team then decides on the level of concern and what protective factors need to be put in place. And the final step is that students with plans are reviewed at least monthly to rate effectiveness and make any adjustments. What role do you play in the threat management process? All school-based adults are essential in the information gathering process whenever a threat has been made. You can provide more information about students, provide objective information, give examples when you can, be honest, and the required person who knows the student must be filled out as directed in the time frame provided by your threat management team. If you are asked to fill out the staff or teacher questionnaire, please be as honest and thorough as possible to give the most information as we gather our information during the investigation. Developing protective factors and fostering relationships with students. Ensure that all students have a trusted adult on campus. You can teach and model classroom routines and rules. Reteach universal expectations from our PBS matrix or our eagle-eyed expectations. Call home for any positive situations. Build positive and appropriate relationship with students. Model coping mechanisms with your students, and create a welcoming environment for all students. Can you think of any other ways to build relationships with students in your capacity? Reporting a threat or student with concerning behaviors. The preferred reporting tool is Fortify Florida. Additional reporting mechanisms is to let school administration, the threat management chair, or law enforcement know. You can report directly to Ms. Bailey or the chair or the vice chair in her absence via text, phone, or in person. Fortify Florida. Fortify Florida is a suspicious activity reporting tool that allows anyone to instantly relay information to the appropriate law enforcement agencies and school officials. To download the Fortify Florida app, go to the App Store or Google Play. Tips submitted through Fortify Florida are immediately sent to school administration and school police. Tips may be submitted confidentially, and tips may be submitted with a photo or a video. Tips may also be submitted through the app or the website at getfortifyflorida.com. The 4-step process to submit a tip is as follows. Step 1, enter the school name. Step 2, enter incident details. Who, what, when, where, and why, if you know. Step 3, would you like to include a photo, yes or no? If yes, you will choose the photo to upload. Step 4, your name, your email, and your phone number are all optional. If you decide you want to include your name and contact info, otherwise you will remain anonymous. It is also convenient to submit a tip, and it's quick and easy to use the Fortify Florida app or getfortifyflorida.com. And you can include photos and videos with your report. Here are the steps to report a tip on the Fortify Florida app. Click on the Report a Tip icon. If your tip is an emergency, click Yes. If it is not an emergency, click No. Choose your school from the drop-down list or type in your school name to search for it. Type the details of the tip. Who, what, when, where, and why, if you know. If you want to tap on the camera icon to attach a photo or video, this is optional. If you want to type in your name, email address, and phone number, this is also optional. Click Submit Tip to report your tip. Tips are for issues happening in school, on school property, at school-sponsored activities, or on school buses. You should know that it is important to report true information. It is against the law to make a false report, and it is also against the law for anyone to make a threat. Anyone that makes a false report or threat has committed a second-degree felony. If you see something, say something to your teacher or another adult. Use your voice and actions to help everyone stay safe. The Fortify Florida app will send your report to the principal and school police officer. It is not a joke to make a false report. In fact, it is against the law, so please do not do it. If you want to download the Fortify Florida app, you may scan this QR code with your smartphone camera. This slide is for secondary level schools, but please be reminded that students may face criminal charges or expulsion for making false reports on the Fortify Florida app. They can also face criminal charges for making any threats to schools. Here is another opportunity to download the Fortify Florida app using the QR code. And here is access to information in Spanish, Haitian Creole using this QR code. Safe spaces. You may notice safe space signs around the school campus. All instructional spaces must have a clearly marked safe area for students sheltering. Students must be notified of these areas within the first 10 days of the school year. All teachers must mark their classrooms with safety first signage prior to the first day of school with students. Teachers must instruct their students on the safest areas for sheltering in their classrooms by August 16th. Here is a picture of what our school safety first signs look like. Where you see these signs indicates a safe place to hide in the event of a code red lockdown. Crisis alert. Our badges are crisis alert badges. There are two types of alerts, a staff alert or a campus alert. A staff alert is when help is needed in a specific room or area for medical or fights. For this, you will click the alert 3 times. For a campus alert, you will put the school in a complete lockdown. That is only if you see an imminent threat or a person on campus with a weapon. You will put the entire school on lockdown, and the school site, the region, the district issued, and local police and law enforcement will come to the school. For that, you continue to click the crisis alert button continuously. How to initiate a staff alert. When you need help for an issue or incident, for example, a medical emergency, a physical altercation, custody issue, or suspicious activity, click the badge 3 times. You will receive a short vibration feedback and site responders will be notified. To initiate a lockdown alert, again, this is only when you see an active shooter or a visible weapon or criminal on campus. Keep clicking the Centegix badge until the site is in lockdown, evidenced by the intercom message, strobes, desktop takeover, and your school administration will be notified. Lockdown from the badge. You will hear auditory cues integrated into the intercom system. Visual cues will be the alert strobes. Instructions will be displayed on all computers, and site responders will receive a notification on their desktop and mobile device. Different alert types. Code red or full lockdown will be a flashing red strobe. A modified lockdown or code yellow will be a flashing yellow strobe. A code blue is an evacuation code, is a flashing blue strobe. An all clear or normal operation or code green is a flashing green strobe. For staff alerts, we will not have a strobe. Safety drills and lockdowns. Our first fire drill will be August 13th. Our first code red will be August 15th. Be sure that evacuation routes are posted in each classroom or area. Be sure to grab the safety satchel, which is the green bag, which has your crisis plan and updated rosters inside. No student is to be released without authorization. Once authorized, the person picking up the student will sign the child out. Attempt to keep order or calmness in the room. Regular classroom activities as appropriate are suggested to ease anxiety. Any student who is missing or unaccounted for should be reported immediately to the nearest administrator. General emergency procedures. Telephone calls are not permitted. No student is to be released without authorization. Once authorized, the person picking up the student will sign the child out. List of all released students must be maintained. Students will be called to the office by the PA system or messenger will be sent to the classroom for release. Attempt to keep order and calmness in the room. Regular classroom activities as appropriate are suggested to ease anxiety. Any student who is missing or unaccounted for should be reported immediately to the nearest administrator. If it is necessary to evacuate campus, authorization will be given as to where and when to relocate. Physical structures and perimeter security. Secure windows, opaque, and close the blinds. Always keep your doors locked and the gates locked. The emergency codes defined. A code red is no movement, complete lockdown with the lights off and remain out of view. A code yellow is limited movement with the crisis response team only. Notify the office of students missing. A code blue is an evacuation. A code white is a bomb scare and shelter in place with a possibility of an evacuation. And a code green is to a return to normal operations, all clear. You may hear over the PA system, Eagles, we are all clear. The words within the quotation marks will be announced and the procedures listed next to each code must be followed. An announcement will be made over the public address system or by radio as appropriate. For example, the PA announcement might say code red procedures. Code red procedures. A code red means lights out, doors locked, no movement, and cell phone silence. Do not move for any reason with the exception of an all clear code green. Eagles, we are all clear. Or a law enforcement evacuation. There is no response to a fire drill when in a code red. Students in the hallways and other locations when code red is announced. The teachers immediately proceed to secure the classroom door and peek left and right. Any students in front of their classrooms are swept into the closest room. Bathrooms, students who are not in class when a code red is called are immediately seek shelter into the nearest classroom. If students are unable to seek out of class due to the fast-moving situation, they are to seek the best hiding place available in the immediate area and remain absolutely quiet. These are marked with our safe space signs. Classroom best practices. Locate the best location in your classroom. Know your hard corner. It should be marked with a safety first sign. Stay away from windows. If you have a closet, use it. Keep absolutely still or quiet and stay crouched near the floor with a low profile target. Fire evacuation procedure. Evacuation route maps are posted in each room. Please check them carefully and review with students. 6 fire drills and 5 crisis drills will be held throughout the year to ensure safety in an event of an emergency. These procedures are extremely important and will be monitored. When the alarm sounds, please proceed as follows. Quiet all students, take roll, and line up in the classroom. In the event of a false alarm, you will be instructed to return to normal procedures. Proceed in an orderly, quiet fashion and take your safety satchel, the green bag. Follow the assigned route. Arrive quickly to your designated location and take roll. Report any missing students. Wait for the all clear signal. And after the all clear signal is sounded, walk back to the classroom and return to normal procedures. Severe weather or tornado procedures. General procedures. The main office will monitor information and TV weather advisories. Administration will inform teachers of watch or warning. Communication regarding notification of severe weather alert will be done over the PA system if protective actions become necessary. Note, a watch indicates that a storm or weather system may pose a threat to a specific area. Warning indicates that a storm approach is imminent. Evacuation and emergency procedures. Stop all activities immediately. Proceed in an orderly, quiet fashion and take your safety satchel, the green bag. Proceed to the designated safe location in the hallway, on the main floor, music room, on the stage of the cafeteria, or media center in the Breeze News studio. Persons should seek cover where floors and walls meet away from windows and place themselves in a protective position covering heads and faces with hands and arms. Code green or all clear. Eagles, we are all clear. PA announcement will signal that the storm has passed and it is safe to return to classrooms. The crisis team. The personnel assignments on the district-wide crisis plan outlines 9 positions in the event of a crisis. The staff members below oversee each component of the crisis response team. This list is subject to change based on available staff and other extenuating circumstances. Our vital and CPR trained staff are listed on this screen. Our safety non-negotiables. All staff members must wear their ID badges and be visible at all times. Limit giving your badge and keys to students. Students should use the electronic buzzers to get into the building. Classroom doors are to remain locked at all times. A single point of entry is designated for all campuses. Ours is the main office entrance. Become familiar with the fire evacuation routes. Bathrooms cannot be used for storage as they can be used in code red situations. Students must travel in pairs at all times. Covering classroom windows during a code red, otherwise please leave them open. Recess safety and expectations. It is hot outside. Be cognizant of how long you remain outside and ensure that students drink lots of fluids. Supervision, supervision, supervision. You are responsible for the supervision of students while outside. Staff should not be sitting or socializing when they are monitoring recess. Teachers will be assigned areas to supervise. Watch for the hot spots on the playground equipment. Facilities. Please let Vera know if any of the copiers stop working. There should be absolutely no movement of any furniture that is in your classrooms or area without administrative approval. If you need any extra chairs or desks, please email Vera and custodial staff will move it. Please keep labels on all furniture and equipment from other schools. Any maintenance or classroom concerns should be emailed to Vera. Mandatory reporting. Remember that you are all mandatory reporters of suspected child abuse and you should report within 24 hours. Use the school form when reporting abuse. Additionally, there is a tile in your portal that you may use to get more information on child abuse and to make a report. If you have any additional questions, please see Mrs. Elf. Just a few reminders. Gates and doors must remain locked. It is the law. All gates and other campus access points must remain closed and locked when students are on campus. Doors of school classrooms and other instructional spaces must be locked when occupied by students, except between classes. If a door must be left unlocked, the door must be actively staffed. Keep your classroom doors locked at all times unless you are at the door. No exceptions. Review the safety presentation provided during the first few weeks of school with students. Review and practice your safe space in your classroom with your students. Complete the safety first signage before the first day of school. Keep areas to doors clear. Maintain a minimum of 3 feet to clear an aisle to the doors. Keep areas in front of emergency escape windows clear and maintain a minimum of 3 feet clear aisle to the windows. Prohibit residential furnishings, sofas, chairs, beanbag chairs, or any curtains, and school purchase items must be approved flame resistant. Prohibit storage of flammable materials, spray paint, rubber cement, gasoline, charcoal, etc. Do not use door stoppers or prop doors open. Students should not open the doors. Use only approved surge protectors. Keep any areas at fire extinguishers and fire alarm pull stations clear and readily accessible. Do not put locks or chains on doors or gates. Prohibit all storage in electrical and mechanical rooms, including boiler rooms, generator rooms, air conditioning rooms, etc. Prohibit use of air fresheners, body sprays, and candles throughout campus. Safety is everyone's responsibilities. If you have any questions or concerns, please see Ms. Bailey or Mrs. Elf. Thank you. Let's have a great and safe school year. Please scan to sign the school safety agreements. I will also email the link along with this video.